I was about to interject that this is like dealing with a couple of toddlers where you can trick them once and then trick them again and trick them again and trick them again. But I've got two young boys and they won't even fall for that.
No.
They won't.
No.
You're almost dealing with a mentally impaired public. And like you said, you make them pay attention to this hand over here, and this hand keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's right there in plain sight. And yet the same con can get rolled over and over and over again.
People have asked, how is it they do it so seamlessly? How does the forces of darkness seem to always get it done? And my response is because the light has never learned from darkness. If we actually examined how they do it, it's actually really easy. All you have to do is you have to leverage fear and then create the illusion of scarcity. That's it. There's the whole playbook right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the giant learning that we collectively could have. And by the way, why would I say something about the next pandemic brought to you by DARPA? Well, I'd say it because I'm actually using the agency of fear, maybe, to wake people up to maybe that's the problem. Maybe public health delivered through the Department of Defense is a bad model. Maybe the Department of Defense should stick to Department of Defense stuff. And maybe biologic weaponization of nature is probably not in the remit of what we should actually have our men and women in the armed forces focused on. We should be focused on things like, I don't know, the things we take oaths to defend. Like all enemies, domestic and foreign. I'm sorry. I just read the evidence of enemies, domestic and foreign, and I haven't seen a single person who's taken that oath stand up and keep their oath. That's a problem.
And I get your point about Bobby Kennedy, as in as soon as he has that vaccine discussion, it takes the focus off the bigger picture. One thing
That's exactly right.
Yeah. One thing he has said when he gets into office is he wants to abolish a lot of these connections between these health agencies and remuneration and patents and things like that. He has talked about that, or even CIA and some of those. So he has put out some bigger picture ideas that would potentially stop some of this. Yes or no?
Certainly. And listen, credit where credit's due. He's the only one even hinting at it, right?
Yeah.
So far. And by the way, Ron DeSantis has had the information about the criminal nature of this thing for at least a year and a half. Ron DeSantis has unambiguously, as a governor, been the person who did, in fact, impanel a grand jury. But if you go back and look at what he impaneled, he did not impanel a grand jury to look at the crime. And if you look at what was done in Texas, when right before Paxton was impeached by the Texas legislature, you look at what Paxton did, and Paxton said, well, we should at least look at deceptive medical practices, which is a playbook I wrote 2 years ago, which is the vanilla version of the fight. I can confidently say that Bobby and Ron and Ken have taken steps down the pathway of at least going, hey, people, there's a bigger issue. But my problem is really simple. My problem is they're still couching it in terms that are the terms of the incumbent architects of the problem, right? Nobody's talking about the fact that the Department of Defense budget for what they call biological and chemical weapons readiness is something that we should be concerned about because they're the ones manufacturing the agents. We should be concerned when they fund people who actually use terms like biowarfare enabling technology. Right? The public should be chilled when they hear those words. Collectively, we should all sit back and say, we don't care how misspoken, misbranded, mislabeled that phrase is. That phrase is published on somebody's CV. It is published in proceedings of those events. And that should never be done in human history. There should not be a biological warfare enabling anything, because as a society, we agreed in the Nuremberg trials that was a line humanity could never cross. And in 2005, Ralph Barrick at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, crossed the line that the whole of the earth said was uncrossable. And he was funded to do so by Anthony Fauci, and we should concern ourselves with that.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm gonna tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline. I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?